Across civilizations, fears of demons have lingered for millennia. These entities were so formidable that whispering their names was seen as a call for chaos. From ancient scriptures to modern exorcisms, these are no ordinary Hollywood portrayals. These are some of the most perilous demonic forces ever recorded. Some demons gather hordes of worshippers, while others bring death merely through their presence. A handful are so feared that even the most experienced exorcists hesitate to confront them. What's about to unfold here isn't in any history book. These are the demons that spiritual leaders genuinely dread. Their mere symbols have been linked to calamitous events throughout history. To fathom what truly makes a demon perilous, we must look past the silver screen. Authentic demons aren't just terrifying, they're calculating. The gravest threats arise not from overt possession, but from those that manipulate events discreetly, slowly undermining those who oppose them. First, let's delve into Pazuzu, the ancient demon of wind and disease from Mesopotamia. While many recognize its name from The Exorcist, the real entity's history is far more disturbing. Ancient texts portray Pazuzu as a harbinger of plagues and a master of weather. Its unique danger lies in its ability to traverse moving air, rendering it nearly everywhere at once. Pazuzu's emblem is unmistakable, a winged figure with a scorpion tail, canine features, and sharp talons. In ancient Mesopotamia, this symbol was used for protection, believed to repel evil spirits, especially Lamashtu, who endangered mothers and their infants. Archaeologists have uncovered countless Pazuzu amulets, often found buried beneath houses or worn by pregnant women. This practice of employing one demon against another is deemed exceptionally perilous by demonologists. In 1971, an archaeological team in northern Iraq discovered a Pazuzu amulet. Within weeks, every member fell ill with the same rare respiratory condition, even while separated across 3 nations. Medical professionals could never pinpoint the cause. Vatican records connect Pazuzu with 13 possession cases in the last century, all coinciding with respiratory outbreaks and sharing identical symptoms, regardless of cultural backgrounds. More alarmingly, exorcists today report an uptick in Pazuzu possessions, particularly in regions facing bizarre weather changes. Father Gabriel Amorth, the Vatican's leading exorcist until his passing, cautioned that Pazuzu was awakening, with climate shifts fostering conditions conducive to its influence. Historically, Pazuzu was tied to a devastating plague in Athens around 430 BCE. Records depict unusual winds preceding this outbreak, with newly discovered tablets containing urgent prayers aimed at warding off Pazuzu, hinting that this ancient demon's reach extended to Greece. Similar links surfaced during the Justinian plague of 541 to 542 CE, which Byzantine texts attributed to the dog-faced demon of the eastern wind. While Pazuzu harnesses natural forces, Baal embodies a different menace altogether. One of the oldest documented demons, Baal finds mention in Canaanite, Hebrew, and early Christian writings. Its particular threat lies in its ability to incite mass reverence and ritual sacrifice. Historically, Baal cults have flourished, consistently following a grim pattern: charismatic leaders, bloodshed, and massive ruin. Baal's iconography is distinctive, typically represented as a horned figure holding lightning bolts, often standing on a bull. Such symbolism recurs with alarming regularity in periods of conflict. Worship of Baal was often entwined with fire and child sacrifice, archaeological finds confirming these horror-filled practices across Mediterranean sites. The latest confirmed Baal cult surfaced in 2008 in rural Brazil, revealing ritual sacrifices and acts of worship echoing those detailed in texts thousands of years old. What astounded researchers wasn't merely the rituals but their rapid proliferation, from 3 followers escalating to over 300 within 18 months. Strikingly, participants had no access to history regarding Baal yet conducted rites that matched ancient accounts perfectly. Demonologists deem Baal extremely threatening due to its focus on influential individuals, politicians, affluent citizens, and key community figures. Initially, its influence appears subtle, offering power and wealth before demanding increasingly heinous sacrifices. Historical patterns indicate Baal's power peaks during times of economic turmoil. Historical documents also connect Baal worship to Carthage's downfall. Roman accounts reveal that as the Roman army approached, Carthaginians intensified child sacrifices to Baal, hoping for divine protection that ultimately failed. Notably, during the siege, several Roman officers claimed to have dreams urging them to embrace Baal worship, suggesting a desperate shift as Carthage's defeat loomed. Perhaps among the most dreaded demons for exorcists is Zozo, an entity not widely recognized in sacred texts yet infamous in possession cases. While Zozo gained traction through Ouija boards, its history stretches back centuries. Zozo's known symbol is the double Z pattern, observed in European folk magic as a warning. This emblem has been discovered etched into the walls of haunted locations dating back to the 15th century. Remarkably, similar symbols emerge across different cultures devoid of historical ties, hinting at a shared experience rather than mere folklore. What makes Zozo especially perilous is its method of prolonged torture, rather than immediate possession. Victims report years of escalating disturbances, beginning with minor inconveniences leading to violent attacks, suicidal thoughts, and eventual possession. Unlike other demons, Zozo disguises its presence, often masquerading as friendly spirits or departed loved ones. In 2009, parapsychologists documented a Zozo incident in Oklahoma where devices recorded voices speaking backwards in various languages simultaneously, something audio technicians affirmed couldn't be produced by human voices. Victim medical records indicated symptoms of multiple incurable diseases that vanished right after the exorcism. Historically, Zozo's name has been linked to a series of unexplained deaths in Paris in 1906, where 5 individuals interacting with a primitive talking board reported contact with a spirit identified as Zozo, before meeting mysterious fates. Police archives from that era recount identical markings in each victim's residence, double Z patterns carved into doorways. Similar events transpired in Vienna in 1954 and Toronto in 1976, showcasing the same trend of spirit contact followed by rising disturbances. Exorcists have noted that Zozo displays remarkable resistance to standard banishing methods, often necessitating multiple exorcisms over lengthy periods. More alarmingly, it appears capable of transferring between victims acquainted with the originally affected individual. This contagion effect complicates the resolution of Zozo cases considerably. Emerging from ancient narratives is Asmodeus, featured in works from the Book of Tobit to the Testament of Solomon. Known as the demon of lust, Asmodeus poses a distinct danger, the potential to ruin human bonds and societal structures from within. Asmodeus is commonly depicted with 3 heads, a bull, a ram, and a human, often riding a dragon while wielding a lance. Medieval grimoires illustrate Asmodeus as a 3-headed creature, exhaling fire, and sporting rooster-like feet, symbols resurfacing consistently across varied cultures. These depictions frequently appeared in witch trial testimonies, suggesting a shared experience among those accused. Asmodeus's most ominous aspect lies in its nuanced approach. Instead of overt possession, it fosters gradual moral decay in its victims, ripping apart families and communities through escalating destructive behaviors. Historical narratives recount Asmodeus targeting religious and moral leaders specifically, ensuring maximum cultural devastation upon their downfall. The Vatican possesses sealed records relating to Asmodeus cases, but leaked documents reveal a troubling pattern of influence that often starts with minor ethical breaches and spirals into complete moral disintegration. These instances frequently involve previously moral individuals, making their falls particularly devastating for their communities. Historically, Asmodeus was associated with the Knights Templars' dissolution in 1307. Confessions obtained from Templar knights detailed rituals strikingly resembling those attributed to Asmodeus in various contexts. Although such confessions were likely extracted under duress and may be false, historians have noted that these specific details echo much earlier texts about Asmodeus, information the interrogators shouldn't have been privy to. In 2013, researchers logged a suspected Asmodeus case involving a respected community figure whose behavior shifted dramatically within 6 months. Security footage revealed this individual conversing with an empty chair, making decisions that gradually fractured relationships around them. Medical and psychological assessments found no grounds for these behavioral transformations. Described in the Book of Revelation as the destroyer and commander of a locust army, Abaddon symbolizes mass devastation and disaster. Ancient writings depict Abaddon not merely as a possessing force but as an agent influencing natural catastrophes and large-scale human disputes. Abaddon's chief symbol is the locust, frequently illustrated with human faces and scorpion tails. In ancient lore, he's also associated with bottomless pits and ascending smoke. Volcanic eruptions and earthquakes were traditionally linked to Abaddon's presence. Such symbols have consistently appeared in history at times of vast destruction, inscribed in structures before monumental fires or floods, and depicted in art preceding major wars. What renders Abaddon particularly menacing is its association with apocalyptic events and its knack for swaying mass mentality. Historical records indicate spikes in Abaddon reflections and symbolism before significant social unrest or calamities. Demonologists monitor these reference trends as potential indicators of instability. During the 1930s, religious scholars identified a troubling rise in Abaddon references throughout Europe leading up to World War II. Similar occurrences have been recorded prior to other historical conflicts. Whether this denotes genuine demonic involvement or merely reflects human psychology is a matter of debate, yet the correlation endures through historical documentation. The 1755 Lisbon earthquake, which claimed tens of thousands of lives and devastated much of Portugal's capital, was preceded by numerous sightings of eerie locust symbols within churches. In a similar vein, prior to the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, witnesses reported spotting inscriptions resembling ancient Abadan symbols on structures that later perished. Such historical trends have led researchers to propose that Abadan not only predicts destruction but actively orchestrates it. Arguably, the most perilous demonic entity is Belial, whose name translates to worthless or lawless. Ancient authorities portrayed Belial as the demon of corruption, capable of twisting frameworks of order into instruments of harm. Unlike demons focused on individual attacks, Belial preys on institutions and power systems. Belial's symbolism is subtler than many others, often illustrated as an alluring angel amidst flames or as two contending faces, one celestial, one wicked. Medieval manuscripts sometimes depict Belial as a judge or authority figure bearing concealed demonic traits, an embodiment of corruption hidden behind genuine authority. Such dual-natured symbols are pervasive throughout history, appearing in representations of fallen institutions and corrupt regimes. What singles out Belial as especially threatening is its ability to weaponize human systems. Throughout history, Belial's presence ties to corruption in governance, religion, and law, transforming protectors into oppressors. The trajectory of Belial's influence is deeply dangerous as it often unfolds through legitimate channels, rendering direct opposition nearly impossible. Academic scholars have tracked Belial's influence during the collapse of several civilizations. Corruption permeates power structures, causing them to implode. Such patterns follow consistent stages across cultures and eras, suggesting an intelligence guiding them rather than mere human failures. Demonologists point to the collapse of the Roman Republic as echoing Belial's influence. Historical records detail a slow moral erosion among leaders, escalating lawlessness despite increased legislation, with institutions turning against the very people they were designed to safeguard. Notably, contemporary thinkers like Cicero articulated the spreading corruption in ways reminiscent of ancient descriptions of Belial's impact, without having access to those texts. Similar behavior surfaced during the Reign of Terror in the French Revolution, where establishments meant to uphold justice morphed into means of mass execution. Historical documents from this turbulent time feature numerous references to the beautiful liar and the false angel, terms affiliated with Belial in demonic literature. The most insidious feature of these formidable demons is not their might but their unwavering patience. These beings operate across timescales that extend far beyond human perception, leaving their mark on events over generations. Their menace lies not in overt possession but in the slow, unrelenting decay that humanity often doesn't perceive until it's too late. Today's demonologists have uncovered disquieting patterns, indicating these age-old entities could be adapting to modern society. Reports of possession increasingly involve individuals lacking religious backgrounds or knowledge of demonic lore, yet they showcase symptoms mirroring those detailed in ancient texts. Clearly, something objective appears to be occurring beyond mere cultural allegiance. Even more alarming are the technological adaptations. Since 2010, exorcists have noted a rise in cases where electronic devices play roles in apparent possessions, strange messages on phones, devices inexplicably activating, and victims receiving untraceable calls. In 2019, an exorcism in Madrid was documented wherein electrical devices failed in ways that formed ancient demonic sigils when mapped out, symbols with which the victim bore no familiarity. What truly elevates these entities' threat level isn't merely their individual characteristics but their seeming collaboration. Sacred texts from various traditions describe a hierarchy among demons, hinting at an organized effort counteractive to human welfare rather than mere capricious malice. Cases often reveal patterns of intensification, where lesser manifestations precede the arrival of mightier threats. These formidable demons have persisted in human memory not through mere superstition but via enduring patterns of influence transcending cultural lines. Their symbols occur throughout history during critical moments, not as mere fiction but as signals or invitations to chaos. Whether seen as tangible beings or psychological symbols, their mark on human history is irrefutable. The symbols, patterns, and historical links indicate an intelligence functioning beyond conventional understandings of time and space. Perhaps the most unsettling inquiry isn't about their existence, but why they appear increasingly active in contemporary society. Are they drawn to instability, or do they instigate it? Is there a rise in their activities, or are we merely gaining awareness of long-standing patterns? One truth remains clear through thousands of years of records: these entities thrive on human trepidation and division. In today's world, this realization might be the most perilous truth of all.